The road to the Battle of Armageddon is the dry riverbed of the great river Euphrates.
Millions in Syria and Iraq are facing water shortages as the region's longest river, the Euphrates, dries up.
The Euphrates River is suddenly getting dry in a strange way. But even stranger is a cave discovered underground nearby. Inside this cave, some well-made tunnels and discoveries connect us to the past and make us think about the future. Some unusual sounds and creatures have been heard and seen there, which makes us wonder a lot. How did the cave appear there? And is the drying Euphrates River the end of everything? Join us as we explore the mysterious cave near the Grand River. The loud, terrifying sounds. Deep within the Euphrates region lie mysterious caves that hold a puzzling secret yet to be discovered by humans. These caves stand out from the usual ones due to their strange shapes, sparking curiosity about whether they were made by humans or formed naturally. Their shapes look like prison bars, hinting at a mystery. Besides their odd shapes, these caves have scared archaeologists and locals because they have heard unsettling sounds coming from the ground. Reports describe ghostly noises, enough to scare anyone and disturb their dreams. Some even say they hear the scary sounds of chains vibrating as if something scary is under the ground. Different religious groups see these events as signs of bad things to come. The idea that these caves might make prophecies happen has scared many, raising fears of angels appearing and causing lots of people to die. Located in the historical area of Mesopotamia, the Euphrates River has a long history and is connected to important events and figures in religious texts, like the Bible and the Quran. The creation of these caves by the river over thousands of years adds to their mystery. The caves near the river show how nature has shaped them over time. It's not just the natural creation of these caves that is interesting, it's also their possible importance to ancient cultures. Mesopotamia, where these caves are found, was home to some of the earliest human settlements. The caves raise questions about their use in ancient times. Were they used as shelters, storage places, or maybe religious sites? The reports of frightening sounds from inside the caves add to the mystery. Some think they are natural, but others see them as signs of something bad happening. The idea of bad angels and prophecies makes the mystery scarier, making people wonder about humanity's future. The tomb of King Gilgamesh. Deep beneath the flowing waters of the Euphrates River, there lies a hidden secret that transports us back to the time of King Gilgamesh. He was a renowned ruler who came from the ancient city of Uruk long ago. His tale, however, is not an ordinary story. It's an epic saga that dates back over 2,000 years before the birth of Jesus. Gilgamesh, a towering figure, stood at a remarkable height of 17 feet. That's taller than most basketball players today. In 2003, a group of daring adventurers stumbled upon an ancient tomb. Speculations arose that this tomb might belong to the giant spoken of in ancient traditions. And what did they uncover? Giant bones and artifacts from a distant era. Curiosity increased, and experts conducted tests to determine the age of these mysterious remains. Some theorized that they might be the final resting place of Gilgamesh himself. But not everyone is convinced. Skeptics argue that it could all be a fantasy of imagination. The tale of Gilgamesh is one of power, conquest, and sorrow. Amidst his numerous battles, tragedy struck when his closest friend perished. This loss shook Gilgamesh to his core, prompting him to ponder the meaning of life and the essence of existence. This groundbreaking discovery sparked a debate among scholars and historians. Was Gilgamesh merely a mythical figure crafted in the annals of history, or did he walk the earth as a real, flesh-and-blood king? The mystery lingers, leaving us to wonder about the truth behind the legend. The shocking Islamic prophecy. Many people believe that the drying up of the Euphrates River could confirm a prediction found in Islamic teachings. According to these teachings, it's foretold that the Euphrates will one day cease to flow. In these narratives, it's suggested that when this happens, remarkable things will be unveiled, such as a mountain of gold hidden beneath its waters. This prophecy originates from stories passed down in hadiths, which are collections of sayings and actions. The notion of a mountain of gold emerging is significant. It's interpreted to signify immense wealth and abundance. Discovering a massive stash of gold might sound interesting, but it could also pose serious challenges. Historically, significant discoveries of valuable resources have led to conflicts and disputes over ownership. This could disrupt economic systems and even trigger conflicts between nations. The Euphrates River, one of the longest and most historically significant rivers in the world, has played a vital role in the development of ancient civilizations. It flows through modern-day Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, and its waters have sustained agriculture and human settlements for thousands of years. The idea of the river drying up is not new and has been a topic of concern due to factors such as dam construction, water diversion for agriculture, and climate change. The potential consequences of such an event are manifold, ranging from environmental degradation to geopolitical tensions. The prophecy regarding the Euphrates River drying up is just one example of the eschatological themes found in Islamic teachings. Eschatology refers to beliefs about the end of the world or the final destiny of humanity. Many religions, including Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, have narratives about the end times and the signs that will precede them. The concept of a mountain of gold appearing when the Euphrates dries up is symbolic of prosperity and divine intervention. In Islamic theology, material wealth is often viewed as a test of one's faith and a means to help those in need. However, the sudden influx of wealth could also lead to greed, corruption, and social inequality if not managed properly. The biblical prophecy coming to life. In the Bible, there's a part that talks about the Euphrates River, saying that when the world is about to end, an angel will pour something on it, causing it to dry up. This is similar to what's happening now because the Euphrates River is drying up quickly. But there's more to it. In the book of Revelation, there are some scary things mentioned, like 4 angels being released from the dried-up river. These angels are supposed to create a lot of trouble and chaos, causing harm to many people on earth during the end times. This might seem like a crazy story to those who aren't Christians, but there have been strange things noticed near the Euphrates River, making people wonder if these old writings could be true. In the Bible, the Euphrates is mentioned numerous times, symbolizing boundaries, power, and judgment. In the Old Testament, it's referred to as one of the rivers of Eden, a paradise lost due to humanity's disobedience. In the book of Revelation, the drying up of the Euphrates is depicted as a significant event, signaling the end times and the onset of divine judgment. The idea of angels causing chaos after the river's drying is intriguing. Angels, in various religious traditions, are believed to be spiritual beings with immense power and authority. In Christianity, they are often portrayed as messengers of God, executing His will and carrying out tasks ranging from protection to punishment. But beyond religious beliefs, there are tangible observations that add to the intrigue surrounding the Euphrates River. Over the years, there have been reports of decreased water levels and environmental concerns in the region. Factors such as dam construction, climate change, and human activities have contributed to the river's diminishing flow. While some may dismiss the biblical prophecies as mere myths or allegories, the parallels between ancient texts and modern-day events are uncanny. Whether one believes in the religious significance of these prophecies or not, the symbolism and cultural significance of the Euphrates River cannot be denied. The figurines and ritual objects of the past. The hidden caves under the Euphrates River are full of interesting things that give us clues about the lives of the people who used to live there. Among these things are writings, religious stuff, and special objects, each giving us a peek into the beliefs and customs of old civilizations. These findings have helped researchers understand the culture and religion of these old societies. For the folks who lived close to the river, the Euphrates were very important, not just for water, but also because they thought it was holy, representing life and fertility. Since the caves were nearby, they were probably important for religious stuff too. The people back then saw caves as special places where they could connect with gods and ancestors. The things found in the caves, like writings and symbols, tell us a lot about what these people believed and how they worshipped. The caves might have been used for ceremonies, prayers, and offerings because they thought the river was sacred. the echoes and darkness in the caves would have made these rituals feel even more special and important. In a way, the respect for the Euphrates River by these old people is like how Hindus see the Ganges River as holy. Just like the Ganges is special to Hindus, the Euphrates was special to the people who lived near it. One good thing about these discoveries is the artwork and carvings. These artworks were probably really important to the people back then, showing us what they believed and thought about the world. By studying these artworks, researchers can understand more about the beliefs and stories of these old civilizations. Besides being important for religion and culture, the caves might have also been used for practical reasons by the old people. They could have been used to store valuable stuff or as shelters during tough times. So the caves under the Euphrates River aren't just places with old stuff. They're like windows into the past, showing us what life was like for the people who lived here thousands of years ago. As we keep studying them, we'll probably uncover even more mysteries and secrets from the past. The mystifying ancient city. The old city by the Euphrates River has lots of history from different times: Sumerian, Assyrian, Greek, Byzantine, and Islamic. A surprising finding happened during a big dry spell in Iraq. They had to partly empty a dam to save crops. What they found surprised everyone: a whole city that had been underwater for over 300-400 years. This city, unseen for thousands of years, belonged to the ancient Maon Empire, which existed before Jesus was born. They had seen bits of it during a previous dry spell in 2018, but this time they found much more. The Maon Empire used to be important, competing with Egypt in ancient times, but eventually it lost to the Assyrians and was left to decay. Archaeologists are carefully studying this hidden city to preserve its history for future generations. This discovery helps us learn more about how ancient people lived and what they left behind for us to find. This city, belonging to the Maon Empire, once thrived alongside other great civilizations like Egypt. As the waters went down, the lost city of the Maon Empire emerged, offering a glimpse into a forgotten era. While hints of its existence were seen during a previous dry spell in 2018, the recent exploration uncovered a wealth of discoveries. The Maon Empire, though less known than its counterparts, played a vital role in shaping ancient Mesopotamia. Its interactions with neighboring civilizations, such as Egypt and Assyria, influenced the course of history in the region. The city's resurgence provides valuable insights into the dynamics between these ancient empires, shedding light on their rise and fall. The rediscovery of the Maon Empire's city opens a window into the past, offering a first-hand look at the daily lives of ancient peoples. Streets once bustling with activity now lie silent, frozen in time. The remains of homes, temples, and marketplaces tell stories of trade, religion, and community. In the depths of the Euphrates River, a hidden treasure of history awaits, ready to share its secrets with those who dare to explore its depths. The ancient cave of Zaku. Deep within the old cave of Zaku, explorers found something amazing: a sunken city. Could this be the famous Zaku, the lively center of a once strong kingdom during the Mitanni Empire's time? Back then, this city had a big influence over large areas, ruling as a strong power. However, fights with the Egyptians and the rise of the Assyrians caused its downfall. Zaku was left empty, swallowed by the sea. But now, it seems this lost city is having a comeback of sorts. What's interesting is the find of a mysterious cave, hidden for centuries, slowly showing its secrets to archaeologists and history fans alike. This discovery is like finding a treasure chest, unlocking long-lost secrets from ancient times. It feels like going on an exciting adventure, exploring a forgotten world waiting to be found again. Zaku, once a busy city, did well during the Mitanni Empire's rule. Its influence spread far and wide, making it a big force in its time. However, fights with nearby civilizations, like the Egyptians, and the rise of the Assyrian Empire caused its eventual fall and desertion. Over time, the sea covered the city, hiding its once great buildings under the waves. Despite its end, Zaku's story stayed alive through legends and stories passed down through time. Tales of its greatness and power caught the attention of many, but its exact place stayed a mystery for centuries. The recent find of the sunken city has sparked interest in Zaku's history again. Archaeologists and historians are rushing to the site, eager to find its secrets and put together the story of this old civilization. The find of the mysterious cave adds another layer of interest to the exploration, giving a peek into the past that was hidden for so long. But exploring Zaku has its challenges. The underwater land makes it hard for divers and researchers, needing special gear and skills to move around safely. Despite these problems, the excitement of finding hidden treasures and solving old mysteries keeps the team going. Daily in the life of Zaku people. In addition to these discoveries, Zaku's layout also shows interesting details about how its people lived. The city's design suggests a well-organized urban center with separate areas for living, business, and government. Streets were arranged in a grid pattern, indicating an advanced understanding of urban planning for the era. The excavation of Zaku has provided a special chance to learn about the daily lives of its people. Through the study of artifacts like household items, tools, and religious objects, archaeologists have built a vivid picture of life in this ancient city. One particularly interesting aspect is the presence of a marketplace, showing a busy economy and lively trade. Artifacts like weights and measures suggest a standardized system of trade, while finding goods from faraway places suggests Zaku was an important trading center. Additionally, evidence of religious practices, including temples and religious objects, gives insight into the spiritual beliefs of the city's people. Ritual objects like incense burners and figurines offer clues about their religious ceremonies. Exploring residential areas has also provided valuable insights into social structure and home life. The layout of homes, along with shared spaces and amenities, suggests a close community with strong social ties. Overall, the ongoing excavation of Zaku promises to reveal more about this ancient city and its people, giving us a fascinating look into the past and enhancing our understanding of ancient civilizations. The mystic hidden tunnels. As the waters of the famous Euphrates River went back, something amazing popped up: hidden tunnels underneath. These old passageways are well made with neat stairs, making historians go wild. People wonder who built such an incredible thing. Some folks who follow Christian beliefs think these tunnels might lead to where angels are kept. But most folks disagree with this idea. Old writings suggest these fine tunnels were used to connect Babylon to Mesopotamia. Finding them now makes people think those old stories might be true, getting everyone hyped to learn more about history's hidden gems. The walls of these tunnels are decorated with strong buildings and fancy designs, hinting at a civilization we have forgotten. In some old stories, these tunnels are linked to Queen Semiramis. Finding these tunnels backs up those old tales, making us bridge the gap between what is real and what is myth. These tunnels are showing up now because the Euphrates River is drying out. This means we might learn lots of secrets about our past. Recent reports get people excited about finding caves and tunnels, especially one under the Euphrates that's making creepy sounds. One cave got sealed off because of a very strange finding: a creature like nothing had seen before. It has got a huge mouth and a tongue like a snake, making folks wonder what it is. Is it a fish, a reptile, or something different? People think maybe this creature is making ghostly sounds in the caves. And who knows, maybe there are more scary creatures down there, waiting to show themselves. Languages, scripts, and paintings. In these old rooms, scientists have found interesting things. They've dug up ancient writings, drawings, and beautiful art that hold secrets about the past. It's like taking a trip back in time and seeing what our ancestors were like. These discoveries are like treasures for historians. The writings give us direct accounts of how people lived in that area long ago. Translating these writings and looking at the stunning pictures feels like we're time traveling. The writings don't just tell stories, they also give us important clues to solving history's puzzles. They fill in gaps in our knowledge and set the stage for future studies. Every piece of writing, from scribbles on cave walls to interesting objects, tells a story. The writings are a goldmine of information about everything from how people communicated to their thoughts on literature and learning. Scholars study administrative records, legal documents, and lists of goods to learn about the government and economy of ancient Zaku. But there's more to these discoveries. They also tell us about social structures, politics, and daily life. Analyzing these records shows us what jobs people had, their relationships, and how society worked. Among these writings, there are religious texts and songs that give us a peek into ancient Zaku's spiritual beliefs and practices. They show us which gods people worshipped and how their beliefs influenced their lives. The artwork in the cave is amazing. Engravings and sculptures show scenes from everyday life, stories from myths, and important historical events. These artworks are like visual records of Zaku's rich culture and artistic traditions. By studying them, researchers can learn about the artistic techniques people used long ago. Exploring this cave also helps us understand broader historical events and neighboring cultures. The artwork in the cave tells untold stories and helps us see Zaku's place in history. It shows us things like conflicts and wars and important events that happened in the past. These discoveries in Zaku's old walls aren't just old things. They're like windows into a world that once existed, giving us deep insights into our shared human history. The Fertile Crescent. The Euphrates River played a vital role in the birth of civilizations, especially in a place called the Fertile Crescent. This area, located between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, known as Mesopotamia, or land between the rivers, was where early farming communities thrived, laying the foundation for grand civilizations. Imagine a vast plain between two great rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates. This was Mesopotamia, where humans first started farming and began the journey towards civilization. Mesopotamia was part of a larger area called the Fertile Crescent, stretching from the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean Sea. It was here that agriculture was born. The ancient Mesopotamians valued this land because of the yearly floods from the rivers. These floods brought fertile soil called silt, perfect for growing crops. However, they also brought challenges, often destroying entire villages and leaving the desert dry beyond the riverbanks. Despite these challenges, the Sumerians, who settled in Mesopotamia long ago, were resourceful. They used innovative agricultural techniques like irrigation, creating a network of canals to bring water from the rivers to distant fields, even during dry seasons. They also invented the plow, which made planting seeds more efficient. With these advancements, there was a surplus of food, leading to a population boom around 3,000 years before the birth of Christ. The first cities, like Uruk, emerged with about 40,000 residents. These cities became centers of trade, relying on the fertile land but lacking wood, stone, and metals. To overcome these shortages, Sumerian traders ventured to distant lands, trading surplus grain and wool for precious resources. This trade enriched the city-states, making Mesopotamia the cradle of the world's first civilizations. As the Euphrates River dries up, it reveals remnants of ancient civilizations like Babylon. The Babylonians relied on the river for their crops and daily life, building structures along and within its banks. These archaeological remnants, like houses, offer glimpses into how the Babylonians thrived alongside the river. In essence, the story of Mesopotamia and the Fertile Crescent is a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. The rivers that once shaped civilizations are now revealing more about our ancient past, connecting the dots and completing the tale of this cradle of human civilization. Building ceramic vessels and Kunur tablets. As the dry period continues in the area, experts are finding new treasures from the once submerged waterways. Among these discoveries are well-preserved buildings in the ancient city. An industrial area surrounded by big walls and towers has been uncovered, surprising historians. Despite their old age and long time underwater, these structures have stayed mostly undamaged. One particularly impressive discovery was a tall storage building within the area. This big storage place was important to the people of that ancient culture and probably used to store things from all around the area. What amazed historians even more was the preservation of the building's material, dried mud walls over 3,000 years old. Despite some damage from earthquakes around 1350 BC, the building still stands strong. Interestingly, the top parts of the walls are wearing away, but this rubble might have protected the lower parts from water damage. Excavations have brought forth several amazing discoveries. Among these, the most incredible find was 5 clay pots holding over 100 clay tablets. Some of these tablets were still in their clay covers. It's truly amazing to see ancient clay tablets survive so well through the years. These tablets give us a peek into the history and daily life of the city's people, revealing secrets from the past that we'd otherwise never know. 2 graves on the lake. The building of the Euphrates Dam in Syria in 1968 caused some changes and problems. One big impact was the flooding of many old sites, covering a lot of history underwater. But if you look closely at the strong Euphrates River, you'll find an interesting story waiting to be told. This area along the riverbanks has secrets from a long time ago. It's home to old Christian communities where monks used to live, and many burial sites. As the water levels go down and the lake becomes clearer, something amazing happens. Old graveyards, previously hidden underwater, start to appear. It's like they're telling stories that have been kept secret for a long time, waiting to be heard. This discovery has made historians and archaeologists very excited. Under the water of the Euphrates, there's a hidden graveyard from ancient times. In Raqqa, where it used to be underwater, ancient graves can now be seen. Each of these graves has a story and keeps memories that have lasted for centuries. These graves are like treasure chests full of secrets from our ancestors. Historians are carefully exploring these burial sites to find more ancient treasures. Eventually, we might learn the names of these people and understand how they lived. It's like solving a history puzzle, where each discovery tells us more about the past. Exploring these ancient burial sites is like reading a book written by our ancestors. Each object and discovery is like a chapter, teaching us about those who lived before us. The most interesting part is that the more we find, the better we understand history. Each object shows us a new part of ancient life, adding to our understanding of our shared past. The history of Homo erectus. The Euphrates River has been a big border between different parts of the world, affecting history with fights, takeovers, and changes in power across Asia and North Africa. But what's super fascinating is how it played a role way back in ancient times when people first started existing. Imagine chilling by the Euphrates and stumbling upon tools and stuff that belonged to our super ancient ancestors. In modern-day Turkey, they found artifacts and clues of early humans, like Homo erectus. In Turkey, they found this piece of a Homo erectus skull, estimated to be around 1.1 million years old. It is like a time machine taking us way back to see our early human relatives and how they lived. In central Anatolia, they discovered a Paleolithic site with stone tools dating back around 0.9 to 0.178 million years ago. These Homo erectus folks were kind of different from us. They were medium-sized, walked upright, and had smaller brains and distinct facial features. They were the humans to control fire, which was a huge deal about 1 million years ago. They were pros at surviving in their environment, using stone tools, and being all understanding of the landscape. It's like putting together the puzzle of humanity's early days, picturing how these early humans managed to survive and change over time. It's pretty mind-blowing, the truth behind Euphrates drying. The Euphrates River has an interesting history that goes from its start in Turkey to its end at the Persian Gulf in Iraq, covering a long distance of 1,140 miles. Once a strong force of nature, its flow has decreased significantly over time. This decrease has raised questions about its importance for the world. Legend says that the ancient city of Babylon admired the Euphrates for its power. Controlling the river meant controlling great strength. However, after the Treaty of Lausanne, countries faced difficult decisions about its management. Limiting water resources caused tensions among nations. By 1946, Turkey and Iraq tried to settle their differences with an agreement. But by then, the damage was done. A strong competition arose among Turkey, Syria, and Iraq to build dams along the river. As more barriers were built, the Euphrates lost its strength. Iraq, once depending on its abundance, saw its main support decrease. This led to less food supplies and struggling farming. This fight for power and survival raises questions about the future of the Euphrates. Once a sign of wealth, it now stands on the edge of insignificance, holding little water and raising doubts about its future importance. Which of these Euphrates River discoveries do you find interesting? Let us know your answer in the comments section.